Hi everybody, I'm Hal Weeks for Stalking the Wild Autoharp. I'm back again with yet another video on melody playing. Melodies have two different aspects that get crunched together in just about every single melody. One of those is steps, going up and down the steps, one step at a time. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. Up and down the stairs. The other one is jumping around. Ha, 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 ha. La, 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 la. La, la, la. They mix it all up together, and that's what makes your melody. And so there's some ways that you can practice those individually and then put it all together. Or you can just practice melodies, practice melodies, practice melodies, practice melodies, because you'll get the same practice in. And personally, I think it's more fun to play melodies. But I want to break it down for you and show you those different things so you can learn to listen for it. Because ultimately, it's about listening and hearing those components of your melody. So let's talk about the leaping around part first. There's a kind of melody that leaps around all the time, and that's bugle calls. The most famous bugle call is taps, probably. And then there's charge and reveille. So, now notice you were probably watching this hand, but if you watch it again, or I'll just play it again, watch this hand, what it's doing or not doing. Notice that it never changes. That's because bugle calls are all on one chord. And you can hear the tune going up and down, but I'm not doing any of this like I'm normally doing when I'm playing melody. That's because I'm doing the part of melody, the component of melody that jumps around. And when the melody jumps, in most cases, not all cases, but most cases, it's jumping between notes in your current chord. And so your left hand stays put. Now let's try a different one. So that bugle call, I believe that's reveille. Then there's charge. Da-da-da-da-da. And it takes me a while to find this one. You have to start in the right tier of the chord and go up and down accordingly. So you have to find that. And that's part of the challenge of this. Because if I start in the wrong place, still going through the notes, but it's not playing the right tune. So you're not hitting the right notes. So there's three that you probably already know how they go. And you already know the button to push. You just push any one of the major chords. And then play that. And then play the same tune but on a different major chord. And you got to find that starting note again so that you're playing the notes in the right order and starting on the right. You got to start on the right floor of the building in order to play those tunes. That's the jumpy aroundy part. The other part of melody playing, the other component, is playing up and down the scales. And to do that, you can practice playing scales. Notice what this hand is doing now. I'm toggling, and every single note comes in on a different button of your 3 main home row buttons. 3 in a row. Melodies jump around between these 2 different styles because they mix scales with leaps. And so for part of the melody, depending on the melody, you're going to be staying put. And in other parts of it, you're going to be moving around. It's been a while since I pulled this one out. You see that one? So toggling, staying put, toggling, staying put, learning to hear it. And once you learn to hear it, it'll start to kind of take over automatically. And you'll stay in one place and move when you need to move. Kind of like driving, you don't have to think about it too much. Unless, of course, you're out of practice, like somebody I know. So those are the 2 major components of playing melody. That's playing scale passages and playing bugle call passages, basically. And sometimes it's just for 1 or 2 notes that you're doing one or the other, and then you jump into the other one. And you don't have to overanalyze it, but you should know that that's what goes on. And so you learn to hear those jumps. And you can go, okay, it's probably in the chord. Although you don't have time to think it like that. So give these a practice, not just a practice. Walking through a snowy field is hard at first. And then it gets easier as you go back and forth through it. You sort of gride out a pathway, and or you plow out a pathway, and then it's a lot easier going. And so you can do this, you got this, just keep practicing. And the way to do it is to play melodies. Think of all the melodies, the tunes that you know that are lovely, fun to play, and they're part of you. Ones that really mean something to you. And then go look them up and practice them. Do hunt and peck with those 3 major chord buttons until you get it. Or do the analysis thing that I showed you with the chord cards using some melody notes to help you figure it out, and then you can write it in over the notes, or you can write it in over the words to the song, so that you have some things to practice with. I'm Hal Weeks. Keep playing melody. You'll get it. You got this. If you want to support Stalking the Wild Autoharp, you can become a Patreon over on patreon.com/HalWeeks. You can kick in a few bucks, and then I will find a few bucks waiting there for me every month, and that gives me a lot of encouragement, and it helps me buy nutrition and electricity and things that I need to keep going at this. So, thanks for watching. Thanks for letting me teach you. Big thanks to my patrons at patreon.com. We'll see you next time on Stalking the Wild Autoharp. Bye-bye.